which leads up to that.
Evening, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand to receive the Town Mayor of Biddle, Councillor Adrian Lawton, Deputy Town Mayor of Biddle, Councillor Charlie Smith, and the Chief Officer, Mrs. Sarah Hayden. I call upon Pastor Mark Holcroft to offer a prayer for tonight's meeting.
Heavenly Father, I just thank you for the opportunity of service that's in this room today. I thank you for the gift of leadership and the gift of stewardship that's in this room today. I just pray by your Spirit, you'll lead every conversation, that there will be a spirit of unity, even with differences of opinion. There will be a peace, even where there's disagreement. And there will be a sense of working together to move the community forward for good, for the good of rich and poor, the good of every part of this community. I just pray that today in this meeting, the things that happen move this community forward for the good of all. Just pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on this fine evening.
That's right.
We'll start with by reading the disclaimer. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Biddle Town Council YouTube page. The aim is that decision-making should be transparent and in the public domain, which will involve more of our community in local democracy. By being in this council chamber, you are consenting to being recorded and for your image to be added to YouTube. The images and sound may be used for training purposes. Any views expressed are the speaker's own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Biddle Town Council. Please view the Guidance on Recording in Public Meetings policy if you need more information. Turning to the agenda, the first part is public participation. We believe that the police officer who's with us tonight, PCSO Josh Carter, has got an important task to return to as soon as possible. So we've put him on first and receive his reports.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a quick brief one this evening because there's quite an meeting that I've got to get up to. I know we don't normally do the unscheduled questions, but my plan for that is anyone who's got any questions, even if they've not passed them to Sarah beforehand, fire them all away. I'll try and do my best, and then I'm going to go off to the instant question. So I think there's one that's pre-done by Councillor Yates. I think, but...
Yes,
Councillor
Yates.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for coming, Josh. Just to be brief, obviously, we did pass it forward through the email trail. We haven't really had any significant antisocial behaviour down on that footpath between Craigside and Dorset Drive, but, you know, they've been fire setting, which is obviously quite dangerous. Yeah. And they've damaged the bin and chucked it into the brook. So if you can include that on your patrols, it is just off the town centre. So it's
Sarah sent me an email this afternoon. We weren't aware of it. It's not been reported to us.
No.
There's any kind of crime. I've seen the images as well, because I think, yeah, you sent me the images too, so I've seen them when bins and set them fire. Yeah, more than happy to include it on our strategy. I've already sent an email out to my colleagues to put it in part of their thing, so we'll keep an eye out. If obviously if anyone that comes to you with any names or if you've seen anyone, you just pass it straight through, we can look at it.
Which I am quite surprised. It was quite a substantial fire, so I'm surprised nobody actually reported something happening.
We have had a couple of fires on the lines recently, in general, not specifically there, more Lineside Road and on the line down that way. There's been big one, destroying someone's back fence. So there is someone happy to go, but if there is anyone that passes anything to anybody about anybody, it could be just fire straight to us and we'll look into it.
Well, we sorted it out with AES, but, you know, we don't keep having to sort it out.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, we'll keep an eye on things.
Councillor Jones.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Josh, for coming. I hadn't emailed this one through because it didn't occur to me till about 20 minutes ago. I was getting out of the car. There was a young chap on an electric motorbike. That's the best way I can describe it. It wasn't an e-bike, an e-bicycle. The tyres were this thick. It was a really big, solid piece of kit. It was parked just here outside the Tory pub as I got out. And he went off up the pavement and down by Wetherspoons, nearly skittling a couple of pedestrians as he went round the corner. It's outrageous that that happens in Biddulphmore or on the estate somewhere up a back street. This is the high street at 5:30 on a Tuesday evening. And they don't care. They're complete impunity. So the question is, and I don't expect to answer it now, I would like to know what initiatives have been put together to deal with this flaming menace of e-scooters and e-bikes, because that was a really substantial piece of kit and could have killed somebody in the wrong hands. And the way he was riding it, it's only a matter of time.
So with e-bikes, electric bike, motorbikes, if they've got pedals, then they are not illegal to be ridden. When obviously on pavement, a little bit different from bicycles, it's very obscure a little, but if they've got pedals, not classed as a mechanically propelled vehicle, tongue twisted. So they are legal. Anything without pedals that can be propelled over its own
I think that got
steam with a throttle, mechanically propelled vehicles, so they will be subject to driving without recording license and no insurance. We're having a lot of issues on Church Road, on the grass up there at the minute, which we've had quite a few reports of normal motorbikes, that is, and also down by the leisure centre on the grass area there with where the valley is. We're currently compiling all the jobs together, sending it through to our not transport team, but so they've got a specialist department where they've got their own off-road bikes. They're all insured to go off-road on them, and we've got a drone coming out for follows. We've had that out before, I think twice in Biddulph. When we've had it out, it has tended to we've either caught them, taken the bikes off them, or it's stopped them for a significant length of time. So we're in the process of sorting that out, so I can add that one onto the one that we've already got going.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, yeah, I understand that, and that's fine. But the fact that that young man could sit there and do that and completely disregard, he didn't care. He knew he wasn't going to get caught. Nobody's going to stop him. That worries me, and that applies to a lot of other antisocial behaviour in the high streets as well. I think, you know, I can understand them thinking they can get away with it, maybe up Biddulphmore where I am, and that annoys me. But when they think they can ride something like that down along the pavement in the high street at 5:30 on a Tuesday afternoon in the daylight, it's complete disregard for yourselves with greatest respect. And I think you need to do something. Somebody needs to pull something together to tighten the noose on these things, because they are. That was a big piece of kit. Councillor Hart was with me. He'll back me up. It was a big piece of kit. You know, and it hadn't got pedals. It was an electric motorbike, no crash helmet, probably no insurance. I don't know. It's a big worry, mate.
There's a lot of misinformation as well from the sale end of the products as well at the minute, because they're being sold as legal items all over TikTok, wherever, all like on massive discounts, and the people buying them are often unaware that they need insurance, that they're illegal. So I think there needs to be a bit of education, not directly from Biddulph. I know it's going to be difficult to like educate the whole of the staff of New Orleans, or some kind of education put out to let these people who are buying them know that they're illegal, what the potential repercussions are if they get caught with it, and then targeting the issues that we've got, like say with these teams or whatever we can work at, whatever we can do. Trouble is, say I'm walking down the high street, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, I'm walking down the high street, asking shop goes off. We can't pursue motorbikes anyway. Nobody can in such police, apart from if they're on the motorbike themselves.
No,
Because if they come off with their helmet on and they don't tell us, everyone's in trouble.
I think if I may, just quickly through the mayor, what's needed is legislation as well, isn't it, to stop the damn things being sold and bought.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway, but just,
I'll tell you as much as I can.
I know, I don't want to hold you up.
Basically, Chair, if you allow me, point of information on bikes, they're only legal if they are pedal assisted with a maximum
Yeah.
speed of 16 miles an hour.
Yeah.
A lot of these bikes which have got pedals on, which are going
We've also
out,
got the
you've
twisters
got
on as well.
that
Yeah.
makes them automatically illegal when there's pedals on or not.
Yeah.
And the only way of making those legal is to actually have a registration and full insurance.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
do
yeah.
that.
But no
Because there are
company-
electric scooters around with that, but you know,
Well-
but they look like petrol scooters, just happen to be
No,
electric.
no insurance company will insure a electric scooter, as in like a standalone scooter at all, in the UK, unless they're insured by the local council, so like they were in Newcastle for a little short period of time, or in like big cities. And those bikes with the pedals on mature on about are the ones that people are buying thinking they're okay because they've got pedals on, but they're not because they've got the twisties on as well. So people are buying them thinking they're okay with the pedals, using them as an electric motorbike in theory, and then they still get knocked off, no insurance, all that kind of stuff. Because they might not have the correct license for a motorbike anyway. So there's a lot of misinformation in the public domain about all these bikes, which people don't tend to access before they're buying these things and using them, you know.
Well, any other questions, please? No. In which case, can we thank you very much, PC Joss? Thank you. We now move to the next item in our 5-minute slots. And you notice that 5 minutes relates to the presentation. Questions arising can often go on far longer. The next item in the 5-minute slots are that, as you well know, that we now have 2 new county councillors that represent the respective parts of Biddle. And as in the past, we've had our county councillors attend these meetings, discuss things with us, and we hope that we'll be able to maintain this arrangement. To that end, the Chief Officer has invited the 2 county councillors to be with us tonight. One has tendered apologies, I believe.
Yeah.
County Councillor Mike Broom, and the other county councillor, Bob Eggington, is with us. Would you like to speak, Bob?
I'm Bob Eggington, County Council for Biddle South and Endon. It's a pleasure to be here, this fine hall. Nice to meet everybody. With the Reform Party, there's 7 candidates for Staffordshire Moorlands. We won all the districts. It's been a maelstrom. 6 weeks we were elected. We've been through all the training processes at County Hall, which is a vast amount of knowledge that we've all got to take in. Protocols. So we're hopefully, Mike sends his apologies tonight. I should be at Parish Council at Bagnall, but I've sent my apologies so I can be here and meet you fine people. Hopefully we can make some changes. First couple of things I've heard about the electric bikes. When I'm back at County Hall, I'll ask if we can do some sort of legislation. I'll meet with Highways to see what they say about that sort of thing, because it is a problem and amongst other things. So hopefully we can make a change. Thank you, Mayor, ladies and councillors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you, County Councillor Eggington. Does anyone have any points or questions to raise, please?
Yeah.
Yes, Councillor Jackson.
I think, you know, on behalf of the town council, congratulate Bob on winning the election. And you are my county councillor, Alan and Middle East.
Yes.
So I look forward to conversing with you from time to time on different things that are causing problems and issues that are county council problems. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy your 4 years. I have been a county councillor. I do know a little bit about the stresses and strains that's on there. But we sick to death of hearing about potholes, no doubt, you probably already are. But welcome to your place, and you'll always get a welcome in the town council here at Biddle. We can put party politics to one side. The object of the exercise is to get something sorted. And that's where you as the county councillor have got a big responsibility, and I look forward to working with you for the next, well, for me, 2 years to understand. But certainly the next 2 years. Thank you.
Councillor Proudlove, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Welcome this evening. I'd be interested to hear this, the legislation that you're intending to bring forward on the e-bikes, as obviously Councillor Jones has flagged up an important issue. And as he says, legislation is required, so I'd be interested to see what the county council can do in terms of legislation.
Councillor Jones.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Councillor Agency, for coming to see us tonight. I've already contacted Councillor Broom with a few issues that pertain particularly to Biddle Moor, so I won't go into those. But one of the things I was going to ask him to take away with him tonight, and I hope you will as well. I'll be interested to know, because there's a great deal of concern given the stated reform national policy on gas extraction, what your thoughts are and what the policy is going to be from county on possibility of shale gas extraction on Biddle Moor or the moorlands generally. That's one. I'm not asking to answer it now, Bob, but I think I'd really like to know. There's a lot of people concerned because obviously there was some gas extraction on Biddle Moor some years ago. It's now been capped off. It wasn't fracking. It was a straightforward gas well. But there are potential fracking sites on the Horton side, which I think is still in Councillor Broom's Bic, I'm not sure. But I'd be interested if you could come back next month, one of you, and let us know what the policy is going to be. Thank you.
Are there any other questions and points? Yes, please. Councillor Redfern.
Yes, so long-standing councillor for the Biddle South Ward, somebody who was on the district council for the last 30 years until the last election. Could I just take this opportunity just to bring to your attention the state of the pavements, particularly along Colwyn Drive and the places off it? The residents there have been lobbying for quite a long time to get some action done on that. I do believe the previous councillor before you had made some sorts of promises about some of his DHP money being used for that purpose. So it would be very good if you could look into that and see what can be done. Thank you.
Any more for any more? Councillor Yates, please.
Yes, thank you, and congratulations on gaining Biddle South and Endon. Just really point of information, the previous administration had a moratorium on footpath repairs, basically because of broadband suppliers actually digging the pavement up, and they had a national sort of planning consent, which meant that they didn't have to really give any proper notice to the county council. And the last thing which the county council wanted, because they certainly weren't in the business of wasting money, was to resurface the pavement and then find out in 6 months' time that it was going to be dug up again. That implied planning permission has come to a close, and this was promised to be the first year that the pavements would be resurfaced. Now, you will have noticed driving around Biddle that a tremendous amount of work was done over the last 2 years to resurface the road, so we're in a pretty healthy position. So the push was from a number of councillors to ensure that the footpaths are done next and done with a degree of priority. And I echo what Councillor Redfern said, but what I would want to put into the mix is to prioritise those areas of town which tend to have the more elderly residents, which because of the nature of when the housing was built and when estates were built, you've got the Lineside Road estate and Mansfield Drive estate, which haven't had footpaths resurfaced for over 50 years and are in a terrible position. And also Washington Close, which is an elderly resident social housing complex. The footpaths there are downright dangerous. And I got a commitment that those type of areas, not the specifics, but those type of areas would be prioritised. So when you have the opportunity of looking at footpaths, have a little walk around, do a little bit of local knowledge, get an understanding. I would recommend if the demographic of the people who live there, and prioritise the elderly residents first, because we've certainly got an awful lot in Biddulph, of which I almost include myself in one.
Thank you. Councillor Adams, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's only right to congratulate both elected county council candidates and now councillors. I think it's going to be discussion, possibly not tonight though, but in previous years we've had an half-an-hour session before the main council for the county councillors, two councillors come and speak to. So this doesn't encroach onto the meeting like it is now, which we don't mind. It's the first one, but possibly in the future, 5:30 till 6. I think it's being possibly suggested again as a chief officer, or the county councillors section, or councillors come along prior to the meeting.
What I've said is we'll be flexible. We'll do whatever's
There's
best fit.
a lot of issues every month pushed through to county council, really.
Whatever suits you.
Thank
Thank you. If that's it, once again, thank you, Councillor Eggington, for your contribution to tonight's meeting. Thank you. Moving on now to agenda item 2, apologies. Are there any apologies for that?
Yes, thank you, councillors Eardley, Salt, Harper and Garvey.
You. Now, number 3, declarations of interest. Firstly, does anyone have any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interests and dispensations? Does anyone wish to declare any other disclosable interests at this point, please? And don't forget, if something arises as during the proceedings where you think, oh dear, it does affect me, then you can declare it then, if should that arise. Now we come to item 4, which is to receive 2 presentations from co-option applicants for 1 East Ward vacancy. Now, from what we understand, there will be 1 presentation in sort of physical sense, and there will be a document that the chief officer will be reading out in regard to the other candidate. So, can I please remind everyone of the 6, I call them bullet points, that govern this procedure tonight. First of all, each candidate will remain outside the council chamber whilst the other is presenting. 2, a brief verbal presentation will be delivered by each candidate, taking no more than 5 minutes. Thirdly, there should be no discussion of the presentations, but clarification could be sought on particular issues. So that's an important one, I think, that we can seek clarification of something that's been mentioned, but we can't enter into areas of discussion with the candidates at that point in the process. Number 4, if further discussion is necessary, this may be referred by resolution to a confidential section of the agenda. That's where we ask members of the public and the candidates to leave the room while we hold the discussion in private. Following presentations by the candidates, the mayor will call for nominations, which should be duly proposed, and seconded. So we need a nomination and a seconder in each case, and then we would vote on the matter, and that will enable us to determine, the suitable candidate. And lastly, well, that's said it really. When all the nominations have been received, a vote shall be taken. So that's the procedure. So you want to start off with the,
I think so. So we usually receive presentations in alphabetical order. So the first this evening would be from Nicola Allen Hill. Unfortunately, well, I'll read what she's asked me to read and then you'll understand why she's not here, but she sends her apologies for that. She says, "Good evening. Firstly, I want to sincerely apologise for my absence today. I'm currently recovering from surgery and following a minor setback, my surgeon has advised me to take another week to fully regain my mobility. If not for that, I would be here with you in person. I've put myself forward for this position on the local council because I truly believe I can make a positive difference. When I first attended a local reform meeting, I didn't know anyone, but since then, I've built strong friendships and become part of a dedicated team of everyday people who care deeply about improving our community. Some of those individuals now serve as your county councillors, and I'm proud to have their full support in putting myself forward. I want to work with all residents, regardless of party affiliation, because for me, this is and should always be about people, not politics. I also hope you'll consider that I chose to stand in this way rather than previously triggering a by-election to avoid unnecessary costs to the council funds that could be better used for local priorities. Based on my reputation and relationships in the community, I believe I would have stood a very strong chance had this gone to a public vote. I ask you to take that into account today. If my application isn't successful, I'll stand again, hopefully, with the direct support of the public. To be honest, had I originally stood as an independent before aligning with reform, I might have had more support within this council, but I don't regret that decision. I stand by the path I've taken. I'm enthusiastic and ready to represent both the council and our community. This isn't just a responsibility, it's a privilege. Strong representation means being visible, accessible, and proactive. Communication is key. I listen first, speak with purpose, and always aim to understand different points of view. Whether it's public speaking, community engagement, or resolving disagreements, I focus on constructive dialogue and real outcomes. I enjoy getting to the heart of an issue, analysing information, and finding practical solutions. I'm not afraid to ask tough questions or challenge the status quo if it helps us move forward. And I know that leadership is never a solo act. I value collaboration with fellow councillors, officers, and residents alike. Respect, teamwork, and shared goals are vital to any success. You may also know I run our local wildlife rescue, a project I built from nothing with pure dedication and a passion for helping. I've received awards of this very council in recognition of that work. But more than that, it represents who I am, someone who commits, adapts, and gives 100% to everything I take on. I'm proud of what I've accomplished over the years and the support I receive. Same energy drives me now. I want to serve this community, my lifelong home. I grew up on a council estate in Biddulph and now live on Park Lane. I know this town, its people, its strengths, and its struggles. During the last campaign, I was especially moved by the stories and concerns of our older residents. Many asked, "Is it you we're voting for?" According to them, my bubbly personality shone through. I'll always strive to be someone the public can trust. Politics may be new to me, but hard work, honesty, and heart are not. I will stay grounded and focused, always guided by what's best for the people I represent. I will never back national policies that go against the needs or interests of our local community. My loyalty lies here in Biddulph, and I will be a strong voice for every resident. We're lucky to have so many incredible community organisations in our town. I understand how challenging that work is because I live it every day. It's hard, but it matters and it changes lives. I'm willing to be hands-on and help wherever is needed. Some of the most pressing issues residents have raised include the rise in crime and antisocial behaviour, drug dependence, mental health struggles. These aren't just abstract problems to me. I've lived them. 2 years ago, I opened my home to a young man with nowhere else to go. And with my support, when we couldn't find help anywhere else, I'm happy to say he turned his life around. I'll always be proud of that. And last year, I lost a friend to suicide. I was the one who found him. That experience changed me. It reminded me how crucial it is that we support each other, speak up, and take action on mental health. I also care deeply about protecting our semi-rural identity, preserving our greenbelt, and advocating for our local wildlife, issues I know many feel passionately about too. In short, I believe I'm a genuine all-rounder, hardworking, grounded, and truly committed to this town. I understand the challenges we face and have the determination to help address them. That decision now rests with you. All I ask is that you look beyond party lines and consider the work I've done, the local support I've earned through consistent grassroots effort. And if this isn't my time, I'll keep going because I believe I'll be good at being a true representative of local people on every single issue. Thank you again for your time. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person today, but I hope my words still reach you.
That is Mrs. Alan Hill's application for consideration tonight. We have another candidate, however, Mr. Norris Lawton. Is Mr.
Nope, Jody's bringing him in. I'm thinking him in.
You? This is all right. Never met the gentleman despite the similar surname. Mr. Norris Lawton.
That's me, yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
May I, on behalf of Biddulph Town Council, welcome you to this process of co-option and for you to give us 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes, to present your case to us, please.
Right, everybody. Name's Norris Lawton. Please feel free to stop me and ask questions at any time you want to. I just put one quick sheet together, so I'll fly through it. Won't take too long of your time. I'm 63 years old. I'm married to Wendy. I have 2 daughters in the mid-30s, 4 grandchildren. Everybody lives in Biddulph, and the family has been away to university and come back. So we're based and staying in Biddulph. I grew up in Burslem on the Park Estate, 23 years of age. I married Wendy, so I'm 40 years in Biddulph now. Very settled, not going anywhere. I watched Burslem deteriorate over the years, and the reason I'm here is because I don't want Biddulph to go that way. So I'm keen to get involved in doing my piece for Biddulph. I live on Park Lane, as you go up the bank on the left. So I think technically I'm in the East Ward, which is what he's talking about at the moment. So I know the area quite well. Just tell you a bit about my career. I did my time with Michelin. I was an apprentice engineer. 5 years later, I qualified as an electrical engineer, qualified to degree level. Michelin had 8,000 people when I started and 2,000 people 5 years later. So there wasn't a job for me. I then went into what you would call as major global type electrical companies. So when you think electrical companies, don't think televisions and fridges and things like that. This is major industrial stuff that goes into factories. And I've worked my way through my career, middle management, senior management, working as MD, full responsibility, profit and loss, finance, organisation and people and that type of thing. 3 years ago, I hit 60. I decided to take early retirement. So I've been retired for 3 years now. We've done a lot of travelling. That's sort of come to an end because of family reasons. Got a 1-year-old grandson, so we're looking after the 1-year-old grandson. My mum goes back to work. So that means we're not going to be doing as much travelling. And I'm finding myself at a bit of a loose end, which is why I'm here, because I've got time. I think I've got some skills. And I think I can do something to help the local community. politics, I'm very middle of the road. I've been a floating motor all my life. Not been active in politics in any way, and I don't see myself getting active in politics. I'm applying to do this because I want to help the community and I want to be part of improving Biddle. Other than that, my main interest, travel, I've already done a lot of. I'm very interested in history, I do a lot of reading on history. I'm a football fan. I've followed Port Vale all my life and still do.
Just lost your some votes.
However. So that's pretty much me. Anybody's got any questions, I'm more than taking them, answer the questions.
So, the procedures that we're able to ask you questions to clarify anything you've said.
Yeah.
We can't go into discussion into other matters.
Okay, that's fine.
In that spirit, I invite questions, please. Councillor Jackson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry for my outburst, Norris. But for any votes you might lose for your Vale support, you probably gain several more because of it. So that just a point of clarification, where you live on Park Lane is actually in Biddle South, it's not in Biddle East. That garden might be into Biddle East, but its actual address is in Biddle South as well. But you know, that's not a big deal at all. What I'm keen to explore a little bit, one of the failings, if you like, around this room, in a way, is a lack of really detailed financial knowledge. And I think that is an attribute that we need and we could use on this council. I'm looking there, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not, picking on anybody. So I think that aspect of your background could be really, really useful as a town councillor and helping the town council to run and to flag up issues that you could probably see on a spreadsheet that I certainly probably would miss. So just on that point, thanks very much for your presentation. I believe it can be quite a nerve-wracking thing standing there for the first time. So I understand any nervousness that came through. But thanks very much for your presentation, and thank you for wanting to join Biddle Town Council.
You want me to comment on my financial skills?
I think that's the question.
Jason, could you clarify them a little, please?
Okay, I'm an engineer by trade. I'm a numbers man. Qualified to degree level in electrical engineering. You need to be very strong with numbers. I'm not financially trained, but through my career, ended up working as Andy with a company with a profit, £6 million a year. You've got to be able to understand the numbers. But I would have had financial controller who was controlling the numbers, and then I would start work through them and use the numbers then to work out where you're spending, where you can invest, where you don't need to invest, how you make sure there's enough money in the bank at the end of the month to pay the salaries. So I wouldn't call myself a financial expert, but I'm very financially literate.
Thanks very much, Alex. Thank you.
Are there any other points to raise with Mr. Lawton, please? No? That being the case, our procedure now is that we thank you for your presentation. We now go into what's known as closed session to talk about the candidates that's presented. The chief officer will let you know the outcome of that in due course.
Yes.
Once again, many.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
What proposal and seconded to move into confidential?
Yes, yes. To move into confidential, we need someone to propose it and to second it.
I'll move it.
Thank you, councillor Hard. Thank you, councillor Hawley. Those in favour of moving into confidential? Thank you. And for our viewers on YouTube, we're now going to suspend the public recording of proceedings while we discuss the presentations that we've had. And once the matter is completed, we will resume with the rest of our agenda that you will be able to watch.
Thank you. So we'll have to ask members of the public to leave while we have those discussions. Thank you.
members of the public, some members of the public have now rejoined us as we continue. So moving on to the public part of the meeting now is item number 5. To approve and sign or receive various minutes of recent meetings. And the first of them is the annual meeting of the town council in May. That's this sort of a meeting last month. Just going through the paragraphs. Paragraph 1, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Paragraph 2, apologies. Paragraph 3, A and B. Paragraph 4. Paragraph 5, A and B. Paragraph 6, 1, well, are these numbered? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, there are 9 subheadings under paragraph 6. Paragraph 7, A, B, and C, and D. And then there was some additional agenda items. Paragraph 8, and there was A, B, C, D, E, and F. Then paragraph 9. And paragraph 9 was the last one. Anybody any points to make, please? Oh,
Yes, please, you need a proposal in a second.
right. We'd like to propose that I sign this to record. Councillor Parks, thank you. Seconder, please. Councillor Repson. Thank you. Sorry, and a vote, please. Those in favour? That's unanimous, isn't it? Thank you. Well, I initial these, don't I, on the intermediate ones? And then sign the final page. Isn't it?
It is.
Thank you. You. And then the next set of minutes to be approved are the notes of the annual town meeting. This is the once a year affair, isn't it?
It is.
Chief Officer.
Yes.
And these are the meeting held on the 20th of May. And once again, going through paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and paragraph 5. That was much on the one.
Yep.
So do I both? Thank you. Thank you. And seconder, please. Thank you. Councillor Yates. Smith, Councillor Yates. Vote, please. In favour? Thank you. Next are to receive the minutes of the planning committee held on Tuesday, the 20th of May. Receive the minutes. These minutes are usually signed off at the planning committee.
Yes,
Therefore don't require our,
we need to read the headings.
yes, but I do, yes.
Yes, no vote.
Planning, yes, no vote. Planning committee meeting minutes. Paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 3, A and B. Paragraph 4. Paragraph 5. Paragraph 6. Paragraph 7. Paragraph 8. Paragraph 9. Paragraph 10. Paragraph 11. And that completes those minutes. So there's nothing to vote on
We
there.
have a proposer and a seconder to receive.
To receive them.
Over, Mr. Mayor.
Roland, thank you. Councillor Jones? Thank you. Yeah. Councillor Hopkins. A vote, please. Vote to receive?
Please.
Right, yes, I think
Thank
well
you.
received. Thank you. That's one. And now the minutes of the Finance, Strategy and Management Committee meeting held on Tuesday, the 27th of May.
Do we have them minutes, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, but you'd like me to go through the individual paragraphs, would you please? Yes. So the minutes, as I say, for the Finance, Strategy and Management Committee, 27th of May, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A and B, oh, there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the confidential items, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Proposed and second. Oh, yes, Roger, Councillor Rogers, yes. There's a second if the Councillor Rogers. Councillor Hawley, thank you. May we have a vote, please? For? And that's unanimous. Thank you. Now, yes. Item 6, we move on to item 6 now of the agenda. Mayor's communications. First occasion I've had to communicate. And after being there now for a month or so, very soon after I was elected, I had 3 appointments outside the town to mayor-making ceremonies at Newcastle Borough, at Sandbach, and at Congleton, which I attended, and flew the flag for Biddulph, if you like. Within the town itself, the press, although I know it's going to change very soon, very much, I have had 1 engagement. And that was a couple of weeks ago. It was a great privilege to be asked to unveil the plaque on Hilda Sheldon's Memorial Garden in Wharf Road. Now, it's been long awaited, and it was, I can say, very well received, I think, by all who've commented. I know there are other little sites as well with a plaque on, outside the Royal Oak and a little bit lower down, nearest to the former shop. The main one is near the car park exit in Wharf Road, and it was, as I say, a great privilege and a pleasure to have been present that day to unveil the plaque along with her daughter, Carol. Thank you. Those are my communications, everyone. Short and sharp so far. Thank you. And now we move to item, sorry, Council Parks.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, but I think you have a very important communication only this week, don't you? That you need to, it's all about.
Oh, if
Father's Day.
sorry, if it's future communications that are included as well, certainly, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, it is the mayor's public service, civic service, and it's going to be held at the Methodist Church here in Station Road. And we realise it's Father's Day, and therefore timed it so it will replace the normal morning service. It won't be a separate afternoon event because we think that some people will obviously have other engagements that day. So it'll be, instead of the normal morning service, starting at 10:45 and followed after by light refreshments for those who are able to stay with us. So obviously anyone can go anyway, but it's nice to receive an invitation, isn't it? I hope to see you all there. Thank you. Councillor Yates.
It's not related, thank you. Just on behalf of Councillor Proudlove, he has had to leave, so he gives his apologies.
Thank you. Thank you. So now we move to item 7, standing agenda items. 7A is to receive an update on the management of town council assets.
Fortunately, haven't got a lot to report on this one. As you know, we've been having our local government reorganisation and devolution working group meetings. So we've been talking about potential town council assets for the future. But as things stand at the moment, our current town council assets are no report to make on them. That's saved a job.
Right. Thank you. The next is to receive an update on health and safety activities, including risk management.
That's me again.
Thank you.
Short and sweet with this one as well. Councillor Harper is our councillor for health and safety compliance, and I'm sure you'll join me in passing on our wishes that he gets well soon. He's not well at the moment, so we haven't had the opportunity to meet since our last meeting. As regards team activity for health and safety, if you recall, when we renewed our insurance provider in February, we were swayed by the fact that the insurance provider offered free online training, which all of the staff could undertake. Councillors can as well, if you're interested in that sort of thing. But we've started the online training of health and safety. We're all very keen on asbestos and working at heights and that kind of thing again. So we've renewed that. And so far, it seems like a really good package. So it was a good shout as regards that, but we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you.
Thank you. And thirdly, to receive an update on the Biddulph Works Together project. Councillor Jack.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, it really is a privilege to chair this group. We had a meeting last week. We just about had enough room. The organisations that were there, I probably missed them out, the library, the children's centre, several of the churches, People's Project, the social subscribers, and some of our officers and myself. And it really is, I think every single meeting that we have one of the group would say something along the lines, I've forgotten, Yan's first meeting as well, that meeting as well, and Meg as well from St Lawrence, their first meeting as well. Memory's not too bad tonight. It seems to happen nearly every meeting we have. One of the groups that we could do with something, and one of the other people in the group says, well, we've got something very similar to that and we can help you with that. And the links and connections. And I think that's got even better with the Children's Centre attending regularly now. It seems to be the Children's Centre. It's called a hub, but it really is a hub for Biddulph Works together as well. So just to say, thanks to the Town Council for the financial support and the officer support, but it really is a group that is going from strength to strength, and I really do enjoy chairing that one. Thank you.
If I might just add to that, if it's all right, I think it's worth having on record that as a group, we discussed that in 2024-25, we collectively had provided around 7,000 meals to people within the town. So the aim of those sessions that people run with our town council support is that they have free meals, warm spaces, and an opportunity for interaction, reducing social isolation, and over 7,000 opportunities were taken for that, which I think as a town council you should be very proud of. One of the things that came out of that meeting as well is that we're going to have a volunteers fair in the autumn, so we're just working up some ideas for that. So that we think will be combined with our celebration of volunteers. So we're looking at some dates and some kind of formats for that session at the moment, but we'll bring those back to you for your consideration. Thank you.
You?
I add the CVD to that long list that I left off as well. And apologies for any more that I've left off.
Yes, I just wanted to say how pleasing it was to see the report with the organisation we recently became a member of, highlighting what was being done. I think that's so pleasing to actually read a positive tale coming out of Biddulph and about the positive things we're doing and the way we can pass that information on to other councils to help them. I think it's a credit. I really do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Redfern. Is there anyone else, please? No. So we now look at item number 8, to receive an update on the outside body meetings attended since we last, well, not since we last met, since the April 2025 meeting. So, first of all, Biddulph in Bloom. Now, Councillor Kasicki was at their recent committee meeting.
Yes, Biddulph and Bloom had a very well attended meeting where their gardens was open. So there was a lot of members of the public there. It was very well supported. They're looking at a number of projects, one in particular along the High Street in front of B&M. They're looking at replacing those tired looking planters maintained by the district council and the seed with what they call parklets, similar to what they've already put on Wharf Road. So they're finding out who's responsible for the pavement along that section. They're also looking at replacing the tired planters in front of the shops on Kingsfield Road. They're also trying to find out who's responsible for the pavement in front of the shops, whether it is your Morelands Housing or it is the county council. They're also looking at the possibility of putting a seat in that area. But I did advise that there was a history of some antisocial behaviour in that particular area, but they're thinking of going ahead with it. They've also put a parklet at the entrance to Biddulph Grange Country Park. So that was the other one, apart from the ones on Station Road and Wharf Road. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kasicki. Thank you. Councillor Smith.
Sorry, Councillor Jackson.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I would just hazard, I think, if they're thinking about putting a seat anywhere near the shops in Kingsfield Road, they really must talk to the residents who live in and around there. Because if they do it without their consent, they are the ones that's going to be the ones who suffer any antisocial behaviour that will come from it. And I'm not saying it will, I'm saying it might. it's a big capital M with a might. So rather than Biddulph Bloom doing something to somebody, I'd rather they went and took the people along with them, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I did advise, but I think it was a case of perhaps relocating that seat outside B&M to that location, but I did advise of potential problems. Thank you.
Thank you for that warning. Thank you. Councillor Smith?
Yeah, just to make councillors aware that on Monday, I will be going with Gillian Reynolds as part under the Fair Trade banner to present Kingsfield First with the Fair Trade Shield for this year. So that is the update from Fair Trade.
Okay, thank you. Is there an update from Moreland's Assembly, please? Councillor Jones?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I haven't moved off Biddulph Bloom, actually. So I just wanted to ask Councillor Castillo a question on the parklet, or what it's called. I noticed, I walk my dog there every day. I noticed that one of the old planters had been removed and this plastic bench and two plastic planters had been placed there. Has that been done with the approval and cooperation of Staffordshire Wildlife?
Oh, at the entrance to the ring. Yeah, yes, it has.
Okay.
I believe they did the planting because there's a photo on Biddulph Bloom's website.
Right, that's fair enough, Mr Mayor. Just wanted to
Right, that related to Biddulph Bloom.
Yep.
The Moreland's Assembly was the next one. Is it?
Rogers.
Councillor Rogers.
Yes, Mr Mayor, there hasn't actually been one since the last meeting, but there has been an SPCA one, which I couldn't attend with family problems. But there has been a meeting since then. I can't report on that one, sorry.
All right, thank you. Now, the Staffordshire Parish Council Association, this is Chief, is it?
No, that's SPCA. That's,
Is there anyone to?
yeah, Wayne's just referenced that.
Oh, right, that's the one. Right, thank you. Moreland's Partnership Board. Councillor Hart.
Obviously been ill and not been able to attend, but the next one to come up soon, and I will be attending that.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last of these, the Twinning Association. Councillor Rogers.
Yes, Mr Mayor, that's you normally.
Thank you. I believe, well, there's certainly two occasions in the near future when I will be meeting people from Fustignano, I believe, looking ahead just a month or so. So that then completes the update of outside reports from outside bodies that have been attended. Now we have something very close to us here, to receive an update on the Town Hall frontage development.
Thank you. Just some brief words on this. At our last meeting, there was some concern about bricks, and we talked about the delay in getting bricks to the site and that not being something that actually anybody had any control over. We now have lots and lots of bricks. So this is very positive. And I'm very pleased to tell you that the bricks with the memorial names on have been installed, which look really lovely. They're surrounded by black mortar, which is what we'd asked for to represent the coal mining history of the town. So checked all those names, they're all fine. And they've been installed, which I can't wait for you to see. We've been having some ongoing planting discussions, but just to add to that, I put in for the district councils one of their environment grants and have been granted £500 to support our planting ambitions at the front of the town hall. So that's really positive as well. So now we need to decide what we're going to put in there. Choose our trees. So that's where we're up to. There's no indication that there'll be any issues with overspend or with overrunning the project. So we're still working towards mid-August as a completion date. Thank you.
And in connection with the planting, are you looking for volunteers, did you say? Something out here.
I'm always looking for volunteers.
Put me down.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Jackson.
Councillor Jackson.
Yeah, just to say there's a meeting a week Tuesday, a week tomorrow, a week today.
There's one of the usual meetings then. I I'm sending my apologies for that meeting, but actually can have an update available for all of you who can attend. And it's just,
Is Patrick and the others?
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, well, I haven't told Jodie yet, but she's.
Margaret's, that one, was it 257, Margaret? 25, sorry, I'm not, 256 bricks that we managed to sell, and that's without any real push. And we certainly could have done 500 if we had really pushed it. And I think quite a number of people have been knocking on the door asking if they can have a brick, but it's obviously too late unless something can be done in the future. But I'm really looking forward to opening that and longer digestion and an elephant's pregnancy, but it's coming towards the end now, and I'm really looking forward to Mr. Mayor putting the ribbon.
Thank you. And as someone who has had one side of the family minus to a man, I can relate to it very closely as well, personally. Thank you. So that's the update complete at the moment.
Very quick verbal update, thank you.
On that one. We now turn to paperwork again.
You have my hand up and you.
Sorry, I'm very sorry, Councillor Jones. Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say now. No, I just wanted to say, I'll volunteer, by the way. I just wanted to say, the bricks do look good. I'm surprised how small the space they take up, actually. I would have, I sort of thought it was going to be, but it's not. It's not. It looks nice, and there's plenty of room for later on. I had a peek around the corner by the vape shop. You can't actually see anything. What staggers me is the amount of space. It's enormous. It's absolutely enormous, and it's really going to be a useful aspect to the town. So anybody, I think if anybody's watching and is doubting the wisdom of doing this, it's going to be such a useful space that is when it's finished. And it looks beautiful. Man, the wheels on top look even better. Well done to all. And I know it's close to Councillor Jackson's heart to get this done, and me too, to be honest. And I think I look forward to seeing it open.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for your warm and encouraging words, Councillor Jones.
Thank you.
We now turn to paperwork. The annual return and the draft document is attached. It's this with a lot of black headings or black background headings attached to it. And within there, it's actually the page headed Section 1, Annual Governance Statement. And then in a moment, we'll then be looking at the adjacent page, Section 2, the accounting statements for 24-25.
Yep.
First, the Section 1 page. What we have to do is to consider each of the entries there. There are 8 which involve us out of the 9. I have to read them, and then we have to vote on them.
Please.
So off we go. Number 1, that we have put in place, we being the town council,
Yes.
we have put in place arrangements for effective financial management during the year and for the preparation of the accounting statements.
Proposer and seconder.
Councillor Smith proposed second.
Yeah, fine.
Have we got a seconder?
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Jones, thank you.
Vote.
So votes for, please. For all, I think, thank you. Number 2, we have maintained an adequate system of internal control, including measures designed to prevent and detect fraud and corruption, and that we have reviewed its effectiveness. Councillor Smith proposes that.
Councillor Hall is second.
Councillor Hall is second. May we vote, please? In favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Number 3, we look at all reasonable steps to assure ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance with laws, regulations, and proper practices that could have a significant financial effect on the ability of this authority to conduct its business or manage its finances. Councillor Smith again propose. Councillor Jones?
Seconded.
Yes, seconded, thank you. And now the vote, please. In favour? Everyone once again.
Thank you.
Number 4 of the 8. We provided proper opportunity during the year for the exercise of electors' rights in accordance with the requirements of the accounts and audit regulations. Councillor Smith again. Councillor Yates. Yes, yes, I know. Yeah. Just explaining to Councillor Jackson. Can we have a vote, please, in favour? Thank you. Number 5. We carried out an assessment of the risks facing this authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and/or external insurance cover where required. Councillor Smith again, please, and Councillor Yates, seconded. May we vote, please? Those in favour? Thank you. Vote again. Number 6. We maintained throughout the year an adequate and effective system of internal audit of the accounting records and control systems. Thank you very much.
You, is it?
Seconded by Councillor Smith.
Yeah.
May we vote, please? In favour? That's it. Everyone again. Number 7, we're getting there. We took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from the internal and external audit. Again. Thank you, Councillor Hawley. Seconded by Councillor Smith. And may we vote, please, in favour? That's all again, please. And in this section, the last one is number 8. We considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurring either during or after the year end have a financial impact on this authority, and, where appropriate, we have included them in the accounting statements. Proposer, Councillor Smith, seconder, Councillor Yates, and a vote, please. Thank you. The number 9, trust funds. We have no trust funds, and therefore that is not relevant to this authority.
Where it says chair.
Chair, thank you. Do we need a date? No.
No, not yet.
Oh, yes, thank you. So we now move on. We now move on to the adjacent page. Section 2, Counting Statements 2024-25. Now, there's a list of 10 here, and there's a section, 11A and 11B, but we don't need to do these individually. This is going to be an overall vote.
I propose those, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Councillor Hawley? Indeed, thank you. And a vote on the whole of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, it's the bottom one.
Please.
Councillor Rogers?
So, yeah, just a quick thank you to all the town hall staff that prepares all these documents and everybody who sits on the finance committee, and particularly councillors Early and Hawley, who did the internal control for us, voluntary, and put a high standard report together for us every year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone, thank you. Item number 11 on the agenda is One requested by councillor Jackson to consider sending delegates to the Local Government Association Conference in July of this year.
Yeah, Chair, apologies for wasting the town council's time in a way, because when I first read that email that Sarah sent, I thought it was from the CCI, what's it? Yeah.
CCI.
Yeah, and I thought it was their organisation who were actually having the conference. Having had a couple of emails buzzing about this afternoon, I realise now it's the cooperative movement that's having the conference, and the organisation that we're a part of are just having, I think, a stall there and are attending it. So really, unless anybody wants to go to the cooperative conference, you want to go?
Well, I'm a cooperative member, so I could go along if.
Well, then if the council wishes a member to go to the cooperative council and hook up with the people that we're a member of, then I've got no objection whatsoever. So if Councillor Yates would like to go, it's 2 days, it runs into a Saturday. Don't have to do them both.
Avail away.
3 weeks.
I've no idea. It's pretty soon.
Yeah, in principle, as long as.
In that case, Mr. Mayor, then could I move that we send the delegates to that one, and I would nominate Councillor Yates, and I would ask them to call for any other nominations if need.
Yes. Well, shall we perhaps open it to debate?
Yeah.
What people think about this matter anyway, first, please.
Do we do the agenda?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm quite happy for councillor Yates to go if he wishes to go, and I would second councillor Jackson's proposal. Thank you. On your bike.
Sometimes.
We should.
I guess.
I'll save the money. Are we voting?
Councillor Smith, please.
I just wanted to ask whether there was a cost associated to sending a delegate.
Oh, I'll cover
Top
that.
of my head, I think
Only five.
it's £40, but don't hold me to that.
So we need a-
It's no more than £240 now. It's not into the 300.
back.
Very good.
Is there a specific reason we're sending a delegate there? Is a specific agenda item or a specific agenda that we want to put forward to the LGA? Or the co-op, sorry, the co-op?
Well, it is. I think, if I may, I think with the flux of local government in the next year or two, I do think any connections that we make across the country could be beneficial to us. And there's going to be lessons learned by authorities that may have gone through the process and authorities that are where we are now, in the foothills of the process. So I think any information and knowledge that's out there from other organisations with regard to that specifically, I think might be useful to us as a council.
Thank you, councillor Jackson. Councillor Jones.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just support again what councillor Jackson's just said. I think, given what's potentially going to happen in the next couple of years, I think any opportunities like this, it's a networking opportunity for us to find out what's going on and what other people are doing. And I think it's a couple £100 well spent. So I would second what councillor Jackson said.
Thank you, councillor Jones. May I make a comment?
Yeah.
Yes. May I? My namesake, who presented earlier, said how he is financially oriented. I would like to ask a financial question. £250 has been mentioned. Is that the fee payable just to be an attendee? On top of that, will there be travel costs and accommodation costs?
If I go, I'll cover all the travel costs and accommodation costs.
Right, thank you. That's yes, thank you.
I usually do these things.
So, councillor Jackson has proposed this. Is a seconder, please?
Seconded it.
Seconded, right. In that case, and with mindful of what we've said, councillor Retson, this is comment, please.
Sorry, Mayor. Could really just do some clarification. It says here, the Local Government Association, the LGA.
You got it wrong.
That's why I apologise.
Withdraw that.
So it's the cooperative
It's the co-op
movement.
council conference.
Yeah.
which is part of the cooperative party.
Cooperative movement.
Yes, part of the cooperative movement, yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
It's not the old. You get a divvy.
Well, from there, what normally happens is you find that there's a lot more grants available than you ever knew about. And talking to the right people to sort of set them in your direction, and certainly with the with what they reported on with Biddulph Works Together project, I think Biddulph's flag is flying relatively high with that organisation at this moment in time. So you do think now I found out that there's a cooperative to actually big that up. There's a fantastic opportunity to carry on putting Biddulph on the map, to be perfectly honest, and only something positive can come of it. Obviously, I'll have to be on my best behaviour, but I will try my best. But, you know.
And you'll report back.
And I'll report back in triplicate.
But may I propose that as this has come, if you like, a little bit out of the blue, and not Lister County Jackson, but it is not the organisation he first thought it was. If we were to vote in favour of this, should we add a caveat to say subject to further investigations by the chief officer or whoever, that it is relevant and beneficial when you look at the agenda and the programme for this event? Councillor Jackson.
I mean, just on a procedural point, this conference is the 4th of next month.
Subject to not being holiday, because on the 4th of July, I am away that week, so I'll.
Councillor Yates has withdrawn his nomination. If there's anybody else who'd like to go, Councillor Yates, please. Yeah, you know.
Just have to cancel it as well.
We agree in principle.
Release me life, I'm
What
gonna
I
get that.
send it.
Yeah, can I move that we send a delegate if one comes forward?
Hopefully found.
And
If not, then we don't.
the chief officer has said that she is happy to send information out if more becomes available.
Okay.
So do we vote then?
Well, in principle, if any member of this council wants to go to that conference, this council gives them the authority to go.
Right, that is the motion.
Is that so?
That's proposed.
Where is it?
Rochdale.
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 Oh, the home of
The farms.
Pioneer.
It's relatively straightforward, the count, anyway, so.
Now,
It's just town.
shall we now put it to the vote, please? Who's in favour of that proposal, please? And that's a clear vote in favour.
Yeah.
Clear vote in favour. Thank you, everyone. Number 12, to confirm that councillors Redfern and Yates will become members of the planning committee.
Move it.
Send the psychiatric help.
Yes.
Whoever said move it, I'll second it now.
So second.
We councillor Hawley, councillor Jones.
Haven't done anything.
No. That's Jones.
So, Mayor, can I give a brief presentation of my attributes?
No, you can't.
We discussed this, we said we would.
Oh, okay. Oh, we vote in this, please. Those in favour? Thank you. Yes, unanimous with.
Again.
That's the table.
Number 13, nearly there, everyone. Number 13 now. To confirm a list of potential UK Shared Prosperity Fund projects to be submitted to the District Council. It has to be tabled, and there's a separate sheet. You should have a table of them. Yeah.
Thank you. Shall I run through those very quickly?
Yes, please.
So just really quickly, there are 2 current pots of money for Staffordshire Moorlands District Council UK Shared Prosperity. There is the Arts and Events Grant, and then there is the Infrastructure Capital Grants. Both close on the 15th, so we'll need a decision on that this evening. Oh, hang on. There are lots of things that we could put in for under every single project area that we've got with regards to these 2, but I have made the inquiry today of the UK Shared Prosperity team and asked whether we can put in multiple applications. And without, as they say, predetermining the outcome of the applications, they would suggest it's unlikely for officers to support the same organisation more than once. Our priority, I think, as regards the events grants would be to build on the success of the Chinese New Year that we had this year. And as regards the infrastructure capital grant, the Transport Working Group put forward a number of proposed signs that would be installed along the Biddulph Alleyway to enhance tourism and to essentially point people into the town and to the lovely things that are around Biddulph. So those are the options you've got in front of you. I think with your permission, I might have a go at putting a couple of other applications in as well, just to see if we do get anywhere with those. You never know if it's an undersubscribed grant. And I've included a kind of secondary option for you to see as part of that.
Councillor Jones, did you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'd happily move all, I think this is all good stuff. I'm just concerned that we might be considering buying a panda. Oh, a real, what, a Fiat panda or a real panda? Or
To hire a panda.
can I hire a panda?
A real panda there.
A
A person in a panda outfit.
person, oh, right. Okay. I'd be interested to learn a bit of Chinese calligraphy as well. That's a bit of that. I'll come for that.
Thank you. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, you have me at Panda. Can I please propose that Sarah focuses on putting those first priorities forward, but also put the secondary options in, as you said, in case of underspend. I would propose that.
Yeah, that's a go for it.
So that's a proposal. And the seconder, Councillor Yates.
Yes, just saying, this Youth Shared Prosperity is only a 12-month time window, which is why everything's a little bit precious at the moment. I do honestly think, as the chief officers alluded to, there are many other worthy projects, and I think what we need to do, especially you know, given the financial pressures which all councils are under, is to get our ducks in a row and get things actually costed up. Because one of the things that I'd like to see is that is the actual redevelopment of the visitor centre at Biddulph Grange and get that asbestos roof removed and having it on the shelf and ready to react effectively. This is a case in point on why we need to be project ready. This we effectively given 3.5 weeks to get the applications in. It doesn't always give a lot of time when they're requesting for £3 so to speak. Personally, I'd like the solar panels on the town roof to be considered before the signage on the Biddulph Alleyway. Everybody knows Biddulph Alleyway is very precious to me. It's one of the best semi-rural cycle paths in the county. But I do think is that potentially other sources of funding through the county council and their move more on their sustainability policies, which have got monies towards that, and it is a county council asset. So I would implore the county council to be looking to providing funding for that anyway, without us having to go cap in hand for something we can use potentially elsewhere. I am very conscious of the conversations we've had about high energy costs. So anything which offsets energy costs are always going to have a hierarchy with me.
Thank you. Yes. So we've had a proposal and a seconder for this. Councillor Hawley.
Yeah, I mean, just following on from what Nigel was saying about the solar panels, I mean, potentially, what is the cost going to be of these solar panels? Have we any idea? Because I mean, I would have thought it's going to be in excess of 10,000. And and the question I've then got is, where does the rest of the money come from? So, you know, I'm sort of thinking, yeah, great idea, and it's something we should be looking at. But it's a case of, okay, we get 10,000. Where's the rest of the funding coming from? Basically, how much is it going to cost?
Well, Chief Officer has an answer for that.
Well, the answer is a little bit of I don't know at the moment. I've made inquiries of our electrician and made some contact with companies that can provide us with quotations. But as Councillor Yates rightly says, when you only have 3 weeks to submit a grant application, it does make it a little bit difficult, particularly with it being, as you say, only £10,000. You know, if we've got a vast amount of funding that we could put in for the whole town hall, but actually we would have to choose now part of the roof to put solar panels on, and then it would be part of a project that would be completed. So that's the questions that I'm asking at the moment of companies, you know, actually which part would be the best part and how much would that cost? So if I can have an answer before the 15th on that, I can submit a very accurate figure, but it's just a bit of a challenge with it being a very tight timescale, which is why I put it down as a kind of secondary aspiration rather than the first.
Just come back with a little point of information on that as briefly as I possibly can, because I've got some information. Been working with Biddulphmore Village Hall for them to put in a similar grant, because they've got a beautiful south facing roof, so much as we have here. So I have got some absolutely off the shelf quotations, and based on that, an 11.96 kilowatt PV system, which is quite a substantial system. It's nearly 4 times a normal domestic system, so would make a significant contribution, is £9,200 completely fitted. So, you know, circumstances are always different, but £10,000 would get you a decent system, and that's just one quotation of potentially many. So it does fit in with a practical system. And the other thing is with these things, the way the inverters work now is that they are upgradable both to batteries in a longer term, or both to additional panels. The issue we've got is the remedial works which is required on that side. That roof worries me more than this roof, and this roof with pitching is absolutely a fantastic aspect. It would be pointing south. So just for information on that, but I still come back to the point as well. Having things ready to go is the important thing.
Councillor Jones, did you have your hand up?
I did, yeah, and Councillor Yates jumped in and said exactly what I was going to say. What it does. I was going to say, just knowing what I know about costs, I would have thought about 10k. I think what will limit it, and as Sarah's alluded to, what limit the cost more than the budget is the space to put the panels. You only have so much space to put so many panels. But I would have thought 10k, maybe 20k with a battery would probably do the job. So that's to answer your question, Councillor Hawley. And certainly the visitor centre, I would have thought maybe half that. It's not as expensive as people think, actually.
Thank you. So that being so, are we ready now to move forward with the vote on this? So it's been
Proposed and seconded.
proposed and seconded, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's already has.
Pass, yeah.
So those in favour of pursuing these? Thank you.
Just ask, I should perhaps know this, but what's the closing date?
20th.
No, the whole of the shared prosperity fund.
15, actually, isn't it?
It's Fridays for the grant applications. All projects have to be completed by the end of January next year.
Yeah.
So it's pretty tight.
I'll give you a point of information on that if you want to.
No, thank you. Can we? No. We've reached number 14. An introduction to the year in review document for 2024-25. Chief Officer.
Thank you. These were hot off the press with the annual town meeting. So we have done a summary of the year. So if you struggle to sleep at night, this is a good option for you. I just want to make sure that everybody has a copy of this. I think lots of people took one at the annual town meeting, but I think it's worth noting some highlights from that. And so kind of some of the headline figures of the work that this council does. So in terms of payments that we made during 24-25, there were 1,498 payments, which just shows you just the size of the world in which we live at the moment and the projects that we've got going on. In terms of the number of meetings and events at the town hall, there were over 1,000 of those 24-25. Other things to notice, we reviewed and amended 29 risk assessments. Particularly pleased with that one. In terms of the number of queries handled via reception, there were 6,096 people who had their questions answered on reception. We gave food bank vouchers to 306 people. 98 people had supermarket vouchers through the county council scheme. If you do wonder if you sit in our office for any length of time and you hear the phone ringing incessantly, I'm pleased to tell you that for 10 months of the year, which is the data we were able to get, there were 8,673 phone calls that the team took in the upstairs of the town council offices. So this perhaps explains to you why we are always as a team very busy as well. I think some of the numbers are interesting because when you sit... Very rude about you, councillor. So I think it's a really interesting overview of the things that we achieved during last financial year. It's a nice read because actually you forget about some of the lovely projects that we completed. So I urge you to go through it and just to remind yourself fabulous stuff that we've done.
Councillor Jackson.
Yeah, I think a rise really to sort of point out to our new county councillor, this is not a little parish council we've got here. So you've come to the right meeting, and I think it's fair to say that this council is the most proactive council, certainly within Staffordshire Moorlands and probably within Staffordshire as well. We employ more staff than I think any other town council does certainly across the Moorlands, and again, probably across the whole of Staffordshire. So you've got a willing partner here, Bob. We will certainly try to help you in your endeavours, and we expect you to do your bit down at County Hall to get what we need up here. Well, that's just a glimpse of what this town council actually does.
Thank you. And as we come to the close of our meeting, can I just say before we close the meeting all together?
We've got finances.
Oh, sorry, have we?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. Oh, little matter of finances now. First of all, expenditure over £500. Are there any
Just go through.
comment? Just to go through them?
Keep going.
What,
Don't go through them.
Just
ask if anybody's got any comment.
yes, then expenditure less than 500.
And then supplementaries. If people have.
So you've had the supplementaries and credit card transactions. Is there a comment waiting, please?
This question and a comment, Mr. O'Malley. On the, it says, red phone box lighting, is that Biddle more?
Yes.
Because that's quite a large amount of money. And we could halve that with a couple of edge flickers. Because that light is on all the time. The vegetation that's grown around the back of it, and I realised that the numbers were quite that big. So I think if we get the lighting up there with some flickers and cut that overgrown, because the sensor is on the back of the box.
Oh, I see.
So at the moment, it's on 24/7. That would save us quite a substantial amount of money to get that. So,
Chair, that is the annual cost.
yes, I know it is, but
Yeah, but it's just.
probably if it's on all the time. If it's only on half the time, that would be half the amount, and it's
Fine, consider.
come on, innit?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Rogers?
Yeah, you're just interested on that one. Is that on a meter then? How do you jet you? Just
No, I was thinking it was a metered supply.
If you can't take a figure, it's once readjusted.
No, it's unmetered.
Not a meter, is it?
No, unmetered.
One meter, so how you get the cost.
It's a standard.
I'm saying just wants looking at, doesn't it?
Okay, but I mean, potentially it could be reduced if we. I didn't realise it was a vegetation issue.
You just come back then. We might need to be careful here then, because if it's being guesstimated on what it should be, we find out it's on all the time. I might double that off. Let's be careful here.
I'm being cautious.
Right.
Yeah.
So with due care and investigation of the telephone box, are people generally satisfied about the account?
Yeah, move it on block.
Thank you. Like to move on block. May I have a proposer?
Councillor Jones's proposal.
Vote. You second, fine. And vote, please. Thank you, Adam Sunshine. Now, just the final, this is really the final thing I would mention is that, of course, earlier in tonight's proceedings, we had the co-option process.
But it just point out, you've moved on block, but have you actually moved B as well on block? I got the impression because you've got the supplementaries. So you moved A.
I assumed councillor Jones had removed.
I'm at A and B.
B.
Because at the last meeting, the query was that actually we should do them separately.
Right. Well, if that's to be the case then.
Sorry, I think that was where there was a declaration of interest in relation to them, and there are declarations of interest as regards.
Well, and there was one of the councillors who actually specifically stated, could we actually do it? And it was agreed, I'm sure it was agreed at the last meeting, we did them as A and B. So we did the supplementary separately.
Right, so we better
all right, yeah.
Then ask now, please, for the supplementary sheet. Do we propose?
Second.
Seconder, and a vote for the supplementary sheets then, please.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. And as I was saying, we had the co-option process earlier on this evening. And then we had a private session. Since then, of course, we've said nothing. Once we're back in the public domain, and that is deliberate. That is in order that we may communicate the results of the decision to the candidates involved first. It's important that they get the results of our decision first before they're released to a more public audience. Thank you. And we now close the meeting at 8:56. 7:56.
56.
Yes. 4 minutes